Welcome back, everyone, to my Let's Play of Metroid for the Wii Virtual Console. When I last left off, I left the viewers with a cliffhanger. Are we going to go north or south, up or down in this passageway? And, well, we're heading down. So, we're in this pretty tough room here. We got these Gamut, these beetle-type enemies. And this enemy that I'm freezing right there, that is a Garuta. They're basically the Rios of the Norfair. So yeah, I looked up some of the enemy names between episodes here. So this I think can be really difficult because the Gamuts, the beetle enemies, they keep spawning. The only way they'll stop spawning is if you defeat one and it drops an item and you don't pick that item up. So otherwise they're just going to keep spawning over and over, and they're really going to crowd the screen and just cause a lot of trouble in your maneuverability. Combined with all the Garutas there, can really clog the screen and make it really difficult to get through the area uninjured. So thankfully we got the Varia suit there, and we're able to progress through to this area here. We got this thing jumping out. It's called a squeep. And then we have this multi-viola, which is the thing I just froze there. We want to freeze that close to the column, and toward the top of the column, about halfway up at least, so that we can use it as a platform to get to the top of the column. That'll prevent us from having to backtrack into this room. A little bit later on, we're going to get the high jump boots. They'll allow us to basically make that jump to the top of that column, but in order to avoid backtracking, we're going to head to this room first. But, you know, like I said, since we have the ice beam, we're able to use a different approach to get over that column and pick up the two missile tanks over there. So we're just going to head on back to the vertical shaft, and you might think, oh, it's time to go up now. But nope, we're actually going to go further down. We can use our bombs to bomb the floor and create more passages. So that's where Norfair gets kind of confusing. There's a lot of floors that you can bomb down into to open up new passages. So, but that's what I'm showing off. That's what I'll be showing off here. So, I guess you can freeze the beetle enemies too to have them stop, but they still their bodies are still there to block. So, we took quite a bit of damage in that room, but thankfully we'll get some more energy tanks in Norfair here. Like I said, there's a lot of items here to pick up, both missile tanks, energy tanks, beam upgrades, and a few other items as well. So I'm gonna pop on down here, and the first of those items we're gonna pick up is the high jump boots that I mentioned a little bit earlier. So just want to avoid the lava dragons there. Pop out, and we're gonna head into this room here. That pipe there is a little indication that there's more to this room than just this the high jump beam pickup. So you want to lay some bombs down here, and that'll open up this pipe, and we can crawl through the pipe, or roll through the pipe more specifically. This is going to take us to a very large area of Norfair where we're going to be picking up a whole bunch of things. So yeah, we don't even have to freeze the multi-viola now. We can just freeze that squeep and use it to jump over the column, because see, our jump is so much higher. It could be a little bit harder to control though, because, you know, we're jumping so much higher now. So these little balls that are floating in the air can be a little bit tough to go through, but just take your time and get through. So yes, and most of the we're going to be in an area like this where there's a whole bunch of these multi-violas. We'll be clearing it out, and then we'll go a little bit deeper into an area. It's I guess I call it the Norfair bubble rooms, but first we're going to clear out these areas here first. By heading up this way, we're going to get a real good item that really is going to help us save on missiles. So a lot of the tougher enemies, like those Garutas and the multi-violas, if we really wanted to take them out, you'd probably want to freeze them and then shoot them with a missile, because they have a lot of health. But this item here that we're about to pick up is going to make them pretty easy to defeat without wasting a missile, and it is the screw attack. What's going to happen now, you'll notice that when Samus is going to jump in the air, he's going to flash a little bit. As long as Samus is flashing, he's basically kind of invincible. Kind of think of the star power in Super Mario Brothers. So if he touches an enemy while flashing, he's going to do massive damage to the enemy, often enough to defeat it outright. So, and that includes some of these Ripper enemies up there. I've just been mainly avoiding them because for the most part they're invincible, but you'll occasionally run into one that can be defeated by either a missile or a screw attack, so that's pretty neat. So I'm gonna head down here a little bit, continue through this weird type area, and we got these little, like, they look like there's a certain type of candy, like gummy candies. I forget what they're called, but you kind of float on them. I guess they're like supposed to be rocks covered in moss, but they kind of look like these gummy candies. So, but you can shoot them and have them disappear, but of course that's just, you know, a pain if you do that. So it's harder to maneuver around. Now, instead of going up that big area there, we can go down here and get to a new area. So, yeah, we'll take the top path on our way back. So, got a ding there. I guess another one of my videos is finished processing, so. But getting over this way, and we end up in this room here, and it looks like a dead end, but if we bomb down and go through this lava, which thankfully does not hurt us, we can get to another area here. We can pick up some more items. See if we hit one of these guys when we're blinking, we can destroy it, like we just destroyed that beetle there. Bomb up. And all that energy we lost, well, we're getting it all back with our third energy tank. So, that is 3 of 8, but 3 of the 6 that we can actually use. Like I said, there's 8 in total, but you can only have a max of 6. So the other 2 are just there, you know, in case, you know, you miss 1 or 2, you can pick up different ones instead. So that was an invincible Ripper there. So if it wasn't invincible, it would just, you know, be destroyed like all the others. So now it's time for our favorite thing in the world to do: backtrack. We still have plenty more items to pick up in this section. And Matt's going to be including going down to, like I said, the bubble area of Norfair, which can be kind of tricky. So, because there's a lot of tricky pits in there that can, if you fall into, you can almost get stuck in, almost soft lock the game. Well, it's not really soft locking, but you just have to basically die and restart. So, it can be very difficult to get out of. So, obviously, do not want to do that. So. Just jump over the rocks, the jelly candies. Make our way back. I wish I still had the maps that I made as like a kid going through this game. I think the Nintendo Power had a map, but it might have only had Brinstar in it, so the rest of the maps you had to kind of make on your own. So, growing up in the 80s, we didn't have the internet to look at the stuff. Like I said, you had to wait for Nintendo Power or you know, have a friend who played the game and could guide you to it. So I know when I played Zelda, especially the second quest, my older cousin Billy helped through some of the maps. So the simpler times. So, but now Samus is going to head a little bit deeper. When you step in this lava, you can see there's something down there to the bottom. So that's another indication that, hey, we can go a little bit deeper into the planet. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. Can't go any deeper here, but now we're in the area that I like to call, like I said, the bubble area, because you can see the platforms, they kind of resemble bubbles. So, not to be confused with Bubble Man from Mega Man 2. So, who I think has probably the best theme in Mega Man 2. So, cool. But yeah, a lot of the rooms are going to look very similar, so, it's easy to get lost, so I'm gonna head to the right there eventually, but we're gonna head down here first a little bit. So I like to go down and clear out the bottom sections first before we head up to the top areas. So I like to usually go when I'm clearing games out left to right, bottom to top. So it just makes it easier for me to remember where I've been. So, but you choose your own ways you want to go. Got another missile tank there. And another. And now it's time to head on back. And this is now we're going to head up and go to the right to that area that we kind of missed. So, gotta freeze that guy. Your screw attack will not activate as long as you don't do a spin jump. So if you just jump straight and you don't get into the spin, you'll be fine. So, like I said, sometimes you might want to not use your screw jump, like in that instance there where I wanted to land on the enemy. If I screw attack jumped, I would have, electrified, hit that enemy and destroyed him, wouldn't be able to use him as a platform. So, usually jumping straight up without hitting any direction pad on your keypad will make you not do the spin jump. So again, ended up in another one of these type of rooms, but this time we can head right, but we also want to head to the south first. It's pretty neat there. It's one of the few times we got to see the lava dragon's tail. So we end up in another one of these rooms with the funky music. And we're going to pick up a new beam weapon here. The wave beam. So, once we pick up the wave beam, we will lose our ice beam, but we'll pick up another ice beam later. I want to show off all the different beams. The wave beam is twice as strong as your starting beam, so basically 4 times stronger than the ice beam. And as you can see, it moves in like a little sine wave. So it can hit enemies on the ground that are crawling on the ground, like those zoomer enemies. Those are the guys that kind of move on the ground. So, I'm gonna head over here, finish clearing up this area. We have a few more missile tanks to pick up over here. One of the disadvantages, though, of the wave beam is when you're clearing out blocks like this, it takes out so many. But due to, I guess, sprite limits, you can only have a certain amount of blocks destroyed. So sometimes you'll, like right there, we wanted to go over a little bit, but we had to wait until new blocks spawned before we were able to destroy the block we wanted to allow us to progress over to the right. So I guess that could be one of the problems with the wave beam. It can be so destructive that you might sometimes have to wait. See, we can't destroy any of those blocks there. There's a little squelp jumping down there. If they're red in color, the squelps that are jumping out of the lava there, they can be defeated with a missile or a screw attack. If they're purple, then they're basically invulnerable, so. But pick up another missile tank there. Now these are the areas that are kind of tough. If you fall down into the lava there, it's really difficult to get back up. That's what I was saying, where you can kind of, not necessarily soft lock the game, but you gotta get stuck and kind of get a game over. So if you get a game over in this game, I won't be getting any, but you basically start back at the beginning of the area. So in this case, if you are defeated, you'll start back at the elevator that led you into Norfair. If you get defeated in Brinstar, you'll start at the starting point, so, of the game. And then there's 3 hideouts. There's going to be 2 mini bosses, and then the final area where you get to Mother Brain, and those are accessed by other elevators. Yeah, tongue-tied there a little bit, but yeah, if you die in either of those areas, Hideout 1, Hideout 2, or Torian, you'll start at where the elevator lets you off. So, let's make our way carefully through the bubble columns there. We've pretty much cleared out what I like to consider a lower Norfair. So, and much later on in the game, we'll probably in our next episode, that's when we'll clear out the northern part of Norfair, Upper Norfair. So, but while we're here in southern Norfair, we're going to go a little deeper into Norfair. because besides holding a whole bunch of items and power-ups, Norfair also contains the entrance to Hideout number 2. Hideout number 1 is in Brinstar, but you might be thinking, well, why are we doing Hideout number 2 before we do Hideout number 1? Well, 1, there's so many more power-ups that you get in Norfair that it's Hideout 2 is actually easier because you have so much power-up. If you went right to Hideout 1, which you can go to if you're not like doing sequence breaking, you can go there right after you get the bombs, but you have so few items, so few energy tanks, so few missiles, you don't have the high jump boots, you don't have the screw attack, that it's actually really difficult. So Hideout 2 is actually easier to do. I guess they're probably roughly the same difficulty if you went out with the same like loadout, the same payload, but because you wouldn't be going into them with the same payload if you went right to Hideout 1. It's much easier to just do Hideout 2 while you're in the area. So, yeah, like I said, this game is known for its non-linearity, so that's why you can do Hideout 2 before you do Hideout 1. So, that's what, you know, makes so many people like the Metroid series so much, because, you know, it has that non-linearity. You can play it so many different ways, so. But here we're back in our little area where we got the high jump boots. And now we're just going to backtrack and head back to that vertical shaft that we're in. And we're going to head down a little further to the entrance to Hideout number 2. And it's really neat how you can distinguish what hideout you're going into, but I'll point that out when we get there, so it won't be too long. So yeah, the majority of Norfair we've pretty much taken care of. Upper Norfair, where we're going to get a few more items, including the second ice beam, it's relatively small, so that will not take too long to get through. So, but here we're at the lowest part of Norfair, and just got a few more rooms to go through. This room, and then another vertical room, and then we're at the entrance to Hideout number 2. Also known as Ridley's Hideout. So, Ridley is quite popular. He's probably one of the more popular, well, probably the most popular Metroid boss. I know a lot of people were petitioning for him to get into Smash Brothers, the fighting game, Nintendo fighting game. But yeah, Hideout 2, you see those 2 heads there. When we go to Hideout 1, you'll notice there's just 1 head. So now Hideout 2 is kind of like a big circle. So we're gonna go to the left, because like I said, I like to go left first, and we're gonna get a whole bunch of items, and then we're going to defeat Ridley, and then we're gonna circle all the way back around and come up through the right there. So gonna blow up into the ceiling here, use the door's little jump. Get up to this area here, if I can get there. So close, there we go, finally. Here we got a little item here. The problem is with, here we have new enemy Holtzes. They're just basically like, Rios and Garutas, but of the Hideout 2, so. And, but yeah, one of the biggest problems about Hideout 2 is, where Norfair had a lot of items, this kind of has a lot of items too, but it kind of has a lot of items too, but they're kind of spaced out. So a lot of times I'll be doing a lot of going deep into a hallway, into a passageway, just to get like 1 item, and then we'll have a long backtrack. So it's kind of annoying picking up all the items, especially this 1 missile tank. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. So, but, alright. So we're just gonna bomb our way down here, and we have a tricky room coming up here. Because, if we keep going over to the, left, we're gonna run into a column that we can't get over. So you gotta kind of bomb the floor here, and there's a secret passageway in the floor. There we go. And you just roll through that floor, and that'll take you to a passageway underneath that column, because there's no other way really to get through that column, so can't jump over because at the top. And here's a little tricky thing. There's a hole in front of that energy tank, so you just gotta go real slowly, and about 3 blocks over, just want to jump over. Now we're gonna fall down. Yeah, if you miss that hole, you fall down, you're gonna have to backtrack all the way over to the left and go back up a vertical shaft to get to that energy tank, so be careful. There's also another tricky jump here coming up, but there was a trick that let us get through it. So if you morph into a ball and roll and then you unmorph in the air, the game will give you a split second to jump out of the morph ball. So you roll off that ledge, unmorph while you're in the air, and then you can jump and make that jump. If you just try to normally jump, what's going to happen is you're not going to make, your head's going to hit the ceiling, and you'll fall down that hole. We'll eventually want to fall down that hole, but first, of course, we want to get that missile tank there, so. But if we actually fall down that hole, it's not too big of a deal. That will take us to the boss. We'll just have to do some backtracking a little bit later. But no matter which way you go, you're going to have to do some backtracking. So I'm just going to do the backtracking this way here. There's a missile tank that we want to get. This is that one missile tank that I alluded to earlier that's kind of annoying, that you got to do so much progress in just to get one simple missile tank. But, well, like I said, we're getting 100% here, so got to get everything. So here's that vertical column. If you missed that energy tank, you can head up to go around and get the energy tank from the other side, but we're going to head down and head to this area here. And there'll be a missile tank over this way. If you fell down that hole, you could defeat Ridley, then head right and then down, and then left to pick up this tank. Instead, we're going left, down, right, and then up to Ridley, so. It's very circular. This hideout here is, you know, very circular in nature. So, got these annoying little things here. Look, take them out. Yeah, we get another annoying missile tank. Well, the missile tank ain't annoying, but all the work we had to get through it just for 5 missiles. And like I said, we're not really using missiles all too much now because that screw attack really you know, prevents you from having to use missiles. Like, if you didn't have the screw attack, you'd probably have to take out all these holsters and stuff with missiles, and your missile tanks would really be depleted, so. Missiles now, we're mainly going to be using them to just, you know, destroy doors, open doors, so. And to defeat Metroids later on, so. And Metroids are invulnerable to the screw attack, but you won't have to worry about them until much later, so. But, just like last time, we're going to end this video in a vertical shaft. We're going to end it here in front of this door. We're going to head to Ridley next time. Take care, have a good one. Bye!